There are three distinct mindsets in the world. Three distinct ways to live our lives. We have people who live a life in prison. These are the kinds of people who, when asked, how are things? They say, people with a life in prison will say, it's terrible, it's horrible. Everybody's out to get me. This person sucks, the government sucks right now, life sucks. That's a life in prison. We have people who live a life of mediocrity. This is most of us, unfortunately. People who live a life of mediocrity, when asked, how are things? Will say, it's good, it's okay, it's all right. How's the job? It's fine. How's the wife? Is what it is. And then, finally, we have people who live a life on fire. Now, these are my favorite kinds of people, obviously, right? When asked, how's life? People who live a life on fire will say, it is awesome. I'm loving life right now. I love my job. I love my wife. I love my friends. I love where I'm at in life. People with a life on fire will always answer that way. I answer that way and people think I'm weird. People say, how's life? And I go, oh, living the dream. And people laugh and they go, usually the response I get is, whose dream are you living? And I say, mine. And they go, what nightmare are you living? I say, mine. Because I'm living a life on fire. Significantly less people have answers to like this when asked the question, how's life? Significantly less people. And I'm going to tell you right now, in the next minute or two, how to get your life, whether it's in a life of mediocrity or a life in prison, how to get it to a life on fire. You might not like what I'm about to say, but this is the truth. And I'm not here to just tell you what you're going to like. I'm here to tell you the truth. To get you a life on fire, right? So it all starts with one thing. Taking responsibility for your life. You see, people who live a life in prison have the mindset of blame. They're blaming the world for all their problems, for their debt. They're blaming the government for their situation in life. They're blaming their spouse for hating life. They're blaming their job. And they're never gonna find the keys to get out of that prison if they keep placing blame. The next level of intention, people who live a life of mediocrity have evolved from blame to acceptance. It's fine, it's good, it is what it is, I'll deal with it. They've accepted their life as is. So it's a short step up from blame, but it's still not much better. So from blame to acceptance, to live a life on fire, we must take absolute 100% responsibility for our lives, for our actions. And when you do that, you go from powerless to completely powerful. You have all of the resources in your hands to make a difference in your life. When you leave it up to the world to change your life for you, guess what? It never happens. That's a lottery mentality. And how many people win the lottery? Right? So you must go from blame to responsibility. Blame is a powerless state. You will never change having blamed the world your whole life. Never. Ask yourself right now, have you changed blaming the world? Has anything good come out of blaming? Anything at all? But when you take responsibility, whether you feel like you're responsible or not, you begin to live on fire. You quit that crappy job that you hate so much and you do something about it. You work on your relationships rather than just blaming people for them. You see, responsibility creates a life on fire. And fire doesn't just happen. There must be a spark that starts that fire. There must be. Nobody's gonna light that spark for you, right? And it is of my opinion that we need more people in this world who live a life on fire. More people. You owe it to the world to live your passions, to have great relationships, to do what you absolutely love to do. You owe it to the world. Because the world will benefit for you pursuing your passions, for doing what you love, for living on fire. The world's gonna benefit, not just you. So get out of that life in prison if that's where you're at. Get out of that mindset of a life of mediocrity if that's where you're at, and start to learn to live on fire by shifting from blame or acceptance to absolute 145% responsibility. And that is how you change your life. Simple mindset shift has the power to create massive amounts of abundance and light in your life. And the cool thing about a fire too is it spreads. So like people will oftentimes say to me, when I say I'm living the dream, they laugh at first, and they start to realize I'm serious. And they go, I want some of what this guy's having. Man, I talked to Travis for 5 minutes. They don't even know I'm a coach. And they say, man, he's so inspiring right now. I want you to live on fire and spread that fire and inspire the world through that. Not just yourself. You can change the world, not just your life, by doing this. These things right here, in the last 7 minutes I've been talking to you, this is what we should be learning in school. Things like this. Because if more people live like this, the world's going to be an immensely better place. All the best. Be good. Be awesome. Be great, baby. Woo!